Yo, this is Mr. Felton, a strike engineer based in Europe. Zap and Strike's headquarters is here in Chicago, Illinois, in the United States. Typically, we pay Mr. Felton once a month with an international wire transfer and get absolutely crushed on fees, and it never gets there in time. Now that we can stream money, we can send money any amount, at any time, anywhere in the world, in less than a second and at no cost. Why get paid once a month? Mr. Felton, you want to get paid every 5 seconds?
Yeah, let's do it.
Boom. Every 5-second payroll deployed. What's happening is US dollars is leaving Zap's business account from the United States and is flying over the Lightning Network and converted and received as euros in Europe in real time every 5 seconds. We are literally streaming money around the world instantly and at no cost. Mic dropped.
For me, but let's do the 101. Let's go right back to anyone listening who may not have heard of Strike. They've certainly heard of you, but let's cover what Strike is.
Yep. So I think it's firstly important to let's discuss monetary networks as they exist today, before Bitcoin and Lightning and things like Strike. So the most popular monetary networks that exist today are the Visa network, the PayPal network, the Square network, the TransferWise network, the SWIFT network. Now, what do all these things accomplish and do as networks? And don't be mistaken, they are networks, just like the Bitcoin network and the Lightning network. The Bitcoin and the Lightning network have the tendency to attract this kind of nerdy, highly technical, the hacker screen with the green letters on the black overlay. But all of these things are networks, and they attempt to achieve the same thing. So let's visit. Visa is just ACH plus the Visa network. What the Visa network does in combination with ACH, which is a way to move American dollars, is they achieve things like identity. Like, how does one identify themselves on the Visa network? How do I say, hey, I am Jack Mallers in the Visa network, and I can send and receive money? The second is specifying a payment protocol for one identity to pay to another. The third is receiving money. How does some merchant or recipient within the network request and receive and settle money? Then there's things like credit and debiting, right? And Square does the same thing, right? PayPal does the same thing. My cash tag is my Square network identity, and I can use that identity and use their payment specifications within the Square network to make and receive payments, right? The interesting thing about these networks is that they're all bifurcated and segregated and private. Someone on the Square network cannot participate on the PayPal network. My cash tag cannot pay to your PayPal account, right? Cash App and PayPal don't speak to each other, right? They're segregated. TransferWise, you either use TransferWise or you use SWIFT. You don't use them both. They're different networks, okay? The insight and thesis behind Strike is that the Bitcoin and Lightning network combined is the most efficient and open monetary network. It's the first and most efficient, fastest, cheapest, open global monetary network. It achieves all of these things like identity within the network, payment specifications in sending and receiving, how final clearance and cash finality is achieved. All of these things are defined in an open manner and achieved from day one within this network. And so Strike's 101 is if Square is ACH plus the Square network and PayPal is ACH plus the PayPal network, Strike wants to enable ACH plus the Bitcoin and Lightning network. We think that this network is going to outcompete all of the other private networks, and it won't even be close. And so from a very high level, that is our thesis. It's a Bitcoin native neobank in your pocket that's built directly on top of these new monetary networks known as Bitcoin and the Lightning Network. And we can achieve, frankly, anything cheaper, faster, and inherently global than anyone else. And it's very important that it's an open network, which gives us an unbelievable competitive advantage that I can't even begin to explain, but I'll stop there. And just from the highest level ever, you got ACH plus the Visa network, ACH plus the PayPal network. Strike is ACH plus the Bitcoin and the Lightning Network. And that's our thesis, is we're using Bitcoin, the network, not necessarily the asset, but the network. So I'll stop there. You know, on your topic of how does money move and, you know, what's being accomplished here, let me concretely tell you, I think the first killer app that Strike is going to attack, and the killer app for Lightning, is going to be free and instant international transfers of money. And that's what we're going to first accomplish with our global launch here. It's not simply taking the US product and giving it to people in Europe, but I can send any amount of money anywhere in the world instantly and for free with this new monetary network in Strike. And so let's explain that. So let's say, Peter, I want to send you $1,000, but you are in the UK and you operate in pounds, correct?
Mm-hmm.
So here's how this would work. What happens when you have Strike in the UK and I send you $1,000, Strike is then going to debit $1,000 from my US balance or a linked bank account, right? It's going to take the $1,000 I want to send. It's going to programmatically and automatically trade that into Bitcoins in real time and in a way that's available and accessible in our United States Bitcoin and Lightning infrastructure set. Now it's going to take that Bitcoin and zip it across borders and over the ocean in real time where it lands in one of our various UK Bitcoin and Lightning infrastructure sets. And as soon as it gets there, physical value is transferring across an ocean, over borders, in less than a second at no cost. And then when it arrives in UK, we convert it right back into pounds and we give it to you, Peter. Now, what happened there is extremely novel. And let's break that down. We now have an asset class and a monetary network that's able to achieve cash finality anywhere in the world at any time at no variable cost. Never in the world have we been able to escrow physical value for no cost and in real time, right? First, we would need a digital bearer instrument that actually holds physical value, which is Bitcoin. Then we would need a layer on top of it that offers cash finality that removes the cost to escrow and the time to escrow. So Bitcoin without Lightning carries variable cost and variable time to achieve transaction finality. With Lightning, those problems are solved. The third real problem is that in order to use this novel new monetary network that is Bitcoin and Lightning, you have to use Bitcoin, the asset, right? And for us, that's okay. We don't mind using Bitcoin. We've set up our Lightning node. We've done the podcast with Matt Odell. For the everyday person, actually obtaining and using Bitcoin is not something they're interested in. But with Strike, we solve that. We allow you to use these new monetary networks with US dollars, with British pounds, with euros, with the Swiss franc, right? And so now, all of a sudden, the combination of Bitcoin, Lightning, and Strike enables me to send physical value anywhere in the world at any time at no cost. It is absolutely transformative, right? When I walk into Starbucks today and I were to tap the guy on the shoulder next to me and say, hey, how you paying for your coffee? He'd look at me and be like, what type of fucking asshole are you? With my Visa card. How are you paying for it, you idiot? Of course. We live in the Visa monopoly, right? We live in the Square, the PayPal, the Visa, like these private networks. Now, what if there was a singular standard where Starbucks was accepting these new Bitcoin monetary, like Lightning monetary networks, like these QR codes, and they're never touching Bitcoin, the asset, as the money comes in, Strike or someone else automatically converts it and credits them dollars, right? But then when I ask you, hey, how you paying for this? Oh, I got Cash App. I got Coinbase. I got Strike. I have Blue Wallet. Oh, my nephew built a wallet for his fucking science fair project, right? All of a sudden, market share is absolutely sacrificed by all of these monetary networks. All of a sudden, there's a open, unified standard so I say all that to say, when PayPal integrates Bitcoin, they allow you to speculate on the price. They don't even allow you to withdraw to an address. Why? If they allow PayPal users to be interoperable with the Bitcoin network, this new open standard, the Bitcoin and Lightning network is what UPI was for India. Bitcoin and Lightning is for the whole world, right? They're going to dematerialize all of these monetary networks that exist today. PayPal, the public market valuation of PayPal is a proxy to the valuation of the monetary network that they've built. All the merchants, all the users, all the features that they've built within their own network. if they start to remain interoperable with all of this new Lightning Bitcoin monetary network, they're going to sacrifice share. When I go to check out at a PayPal merchant, who's to say I want to use PayPal to pay it? I'll use Strike. I'll use Blue Wallet. I'll use Wallet of Satoshi. I'll use the command line. Fuck you. You know? And so Square and PayPal and all these companies are in a predicament. I mean, I'm able to do international money transfer at no cost in any time of the day in real time. And so they know that there's serious advantages to this monetary network, but adopting it is going to come at a huge cost of market share and sacrifice of the value of their own network. If the PayPal network gets degraded and is worth less, I mean, the company's going down fast. Companies like, that's the whole thesis behind Strike, is that there's going to be this type of flippening. And if you're not interoperable natively to these new monetary networks, you're lost. But at this
You're
point,
fucking with everyone.
yeah, but at this point, it's on you. I'm a Trojan horse. I give no fucks. I'm here to help Bitcoin, to push this through. I've been working on the Lightning Network for years. I've been working on this vision for so long, and I'm calling everyone's bluff. Yeah, I'm going to allow anyone in the United States to send money to Central America and bank the unbanked because I'm using an open network. How do they have did I install Strike ATMs all throughout El Salvador? Do I need to do that in 200 other countries? Nope. I'm on an open network. There are millions of people working on the network that I'm working on. How many people are working on the PayPal network? More than that are working on the Bitcoin network? Bullshit. You can't compete with me. You can't compete with me. I built this company out of my bedroom, and you can't compete with me. Why? Because my network is open. Everyone's building on it at the same time. Someone already put ATMs all through El Salvador. I didn't have to do it. You just simply cannot compete. You have to succumb to the open network. The open network is going to swallow you whole, whether it was UPI and Paytm or Bitcoin and Lightning and Square and PayPal. I mean, and you know, before I end this rant, you know, Square, I know these companies are brilliant. I love them, and they're aware of this, and I think that they're making best efforts about this. But it's very interesting. If Jack Dorsey were to enable Lightning QR codes at all the Square merchants, who's to say I would use Visa or Square to pay at Starbucks? Fuck you guys. So these companies with these private networks, I mean, we'll see how it plays out.
Jackie fucking baller, man. I love it. Okay, so,
Yeah,
I'm now thinking
I
about...
want to quickly make a distinction between Bitcoin, the asset, and Bitcoin, the network. The asset, your assumption was, can't really help them. It's extremely volatile. It's hard to custody, right? Like all these things. Bitcoin, the network. Let's talk about Bitcoin, the network, when compared to the Visa network or the PayPal network. Bitcoin, the network, gives you identity out of the box, gives you payment specifications out of the box, and combined with the Lightning network, gives you instant cash finality in real time at no cost. That network, now let me tell you something else about this network. The Bitcoin and Lightning network is the most inclusive monetary network of all time. How well does the PayPal network work in El Salvador? Does it even fucking
I don't even know if it's there. Is it there? Is it there?
I don't think so. How well does the Bitcoin and Lightning network work in El Salvador? I think it works the same as Chicago. I think it works the same as London. I think it works the same as New York. It is the most inclusive network. So yeah, if you're in Venezuela, what's extremely valuable to you is the Bitcoin and Lightning network. The asset's also valuable. The asset you should use as your savings account. The asset you should protect your wealth and ensure that inflation and the assets around you don't run away from you in expense. But the network can help your everyday life in making and receiving remittance payments and essentially banking yourself through stablecoins and this new monetary network. I mean, it's remarkable. So there needs to be a distinction between the asset and the network. They're two different things.
Like, okay, when you look at this now and you look at what's happening with Bitcoin and you're seeing all the people coming in and you're seeing all the interest, is there anything that's worrying you? Have you got any things where you're like, oh shit, we need to work on this, we need to work on that? Any kind of, you know, whether it's messaging or, you know, working with, like, trying to keep the regulators off our back, is there anything that you're kind of just like niggling at you?
To be quite honest, no. In my typical like Jack Mallers
Fuck
fashion,
everything.
yeah, of like, you
Fuck
know,
everyone. Fuck you. Fuck this.
right, exactly. More practically, I do think that there is going to have to be a transition phase from what exists to this new monetary network and new premier asset that is Bitcoin, and how that happens. Could be rough and there could be a lot of fights, regulations, government reaction, or a lot of these big money public companies that are going to be facing disruption to their face, I think is, you know, I sit and worry sometimes. I do. I wear my hoodies, I wear my hat, and I brand myself on purpose. I brand myself in this way that, you know, the guys in hoodies that are contributing to Bitcoin core, we are the new C-suites at private banks. We are the people that are impacting the way the world works. And I over market that on purpose. And you know, I think in some ways we invite some controversy and some fighting in this inevitable transition that's going to happen over the next century. So I would say in that respect, it's something I'm not necessarily looking forward to, like Secretary Mnuchin coming after my business, or going to war with JP Diamond.
Fuck you, Mnuchin.
Yeah, I mean, at the same time, fuck you. But I know that that's not going to go over gracefully. But someone's got to do it, and I'm not afraid of anybody. So we'll see. I think that's the only thing. Outside of that, I'm just really proud of this community and this whole industry. There's so much work to be done, but sometimes you really do have to look in the mirror and just be really proud of the sacrifice and the work that it's taken to get here. I mean, what we're achieving, even if it were all to fail today, just the mere education vehicle that is Bitcoin and that is this community. It's advanced the world enough on its own, despite even delivering on this asset and this network that's going to change it for centuries to come. So really, really proud and feeling pretty wholesome nowadays.
Should be,
And
man.
as always, like always get so emotional. I love the support that Peter, people like you and my family and this community. It's so cool, man. I was on fucking TV and I got so many people cheering me on in a hoodie. I've had COVID this month, or in December I had COVID. I was battling Mnuchin and regulations. I was fighting for everything I'm talking about today. I call my parents like once a week, just crying. Like, I'm out of gas. I got nothing left in the tank. I don't think I'm going to make it. But it is like logging onto Twitter and seeing all the support and love that I get. It means the world to me. It really does. So I just want to say thank you. I feel like we're achieving something really remarkable with Bitcoin, the asset, and the price, and how it's helping people protect and preserve their wealth. And now the network that we're using is changing the world too. And I feel like we're all accomplishing it together. And I'm so thankful for that and the relationship I have with everybody. It means a lot.